The turning point. Arlo was 18 years old. He was in his last year of high school, but he did not care about lessons. He sat at the back of the classroom and looked out the window. His notebooks were empty, and his mind was far away. To Arlo, school felt like a prison. After school, Arlo always went to a small pub called the Rusty Anchor. He met his friend Finn there. They sat in a dark corner, talking and laughing for hours. Sometimes, Arlo stood outside to smoke a cigarette. He thought he was cool, but his pockets were always empty and his grades were getting worse. One Tuesday morning, his teacher, Miss Hemsley, called Arlo to her desk. She held a red pen and a piece of paper. It was his latest practice exam. The grade was very low. "Arlo," she said seriously, "the final Maturita exams are in 2 months. If you don't study now, you will not graduate." Arlo went home and looked in the mirror. He saw a young man who was wasting his time. He looked at the old posters on his walls and the dusty books on his shelf. He realized that his friends at the pub would not help him get a job or go to university. He needed to change. That night, Arlo made a big decision. He took his pack of cigarettes and threw them into the bin. He cleared his desk and turned off his phone. He opened a thick history book and began to read about the kings and wars of the past. It was difficult to focus, but he did not stop. A few days later, Finn called Arlo. "Hey, come to the pub. There is a big football match on TV tonight," Finn said. Arlo looked at his psychology notes about how the human brain works. "I can't go, Finn," Arlo replied. "I have to study for the Maturita. I want to pass." Finn was surprised, but Arlo stayed home. For the next 6 weeks, Arlo lived in the library. He arrived when it opened and stayed until the lights went out. He practiced his Czech grammar and read English stories. He learned about famous historical dates and psychological theories. His brain felt full, but for the first time, he felt proud of himself. The day of the final exams arrived. Arlo stood outside the school hall. His heart was beating fast, and his hands were cold. He saw the other students looking nervous too. He took a deep breath, walked inside, and sat down. When he saw the questions about history and psychology, he smiled. He knew the answers. Two weeks later, the results were posted on the school notice board. Arlo walked down the hallway with Miss Hemsley. They stopped in front of the list. Arlo found his name. Next to every subject, Czech, English, history, and psychology, there was a 1. He had received straight A's. Arlo met Finn in the park later that day. He showed Finn his certificate. "I'm going to university to study more psychology in the autumn," Arlo said. Finn shook his hand. Arlo realized that he didn't need the pub or the cigarettes to feel like an adult. He just needed to believe in himself.